got a injury monologue. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about you some things that's been happening on UFO Twitter. Thought might make a good video. Display some clear new panda tactics. Man, those guys are getting really sloppy. Um, some of the things they're doing lately seems to just leave like a trail of comments and like victims in their wake, and they're getting really sloppy about the dumb shit they do. And I got a tactic that I caught on going on last night. I think people might find kind of interesting because anymore, if you don't see it, you're either in on it or nefarious. And I was having a space, Twitter space last night. I think it started at 8 o'clock. And immediately, within seconds, the anonymous section filled up. 20, 30 people in the anonymous. That's kind of what I want to base this monologue about is who the hell is down and creeping in the anonymous section in my UFO Twitter spaces. And if you're having spaces like Gabe, some of these other people that might borderline on, the disclosure tonight, guys. If your anonymous section is packed full immediately upon starting your space, I have a pretty good idea, I think, of who is down there, and some of the answers might be surprising because it's not all bad actors creeping in those anonymous sections. Believe it or not, it's not. And I'm gonna go ahead and come full circle, and I'll explain why some of the people creeping in the anonymous section have pretty good reason to be doing it. So I'm gonna pop over on into the Twitter dissection lab. I got some tweets and a clip that I want to go over in there. Yeah, let me turn. Let me turn. Well, I think that'll pop off here. Alright, so we got the dissection lab here. I got some stuff up here, and I'm gonna explain all of it. Give me 1 second to get the sound chilled out. I kind of like that music actually in the background. He's in the, my guy on GTA's it is part of it. The only problem with it is I might get copyright stricken. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip, and this is the first kind of person that you will find in your anonymous section, okay? And these type of people basically are so buried and balls deep in the drama and pathetic bullshit that goes on UFO Twitter from day to day that they don't want to miss anything. So even guys like me that they can't stand, my friends, Darren, Carlos, all these people that they attack day to day, they can't seem to stay away from us. They're, creeping in my stream comments. They're everywhere. They're a-logging my content and then listening to it for hours in panda spaces. So this makes up a good chunk of who makes up the anonymous sections, and it's guys like this guy. I call him Butt Beacon. His name's Chase. He goes by Deacon sometimes, but I guess nowadays he's on a new account every couple days. This is the one he was on recently, and he used this brand new attack sock to get into my speaker, into onto my speaker panel during my Twitter space. I don't let this guy into my spaces. There's a small handful of people that I will not allow in my spaces. And um I've kind of shifted from the days where I thought like it should be it cuz I'm not making UFO Twitter spaces. I'm making spaces trying to expose UFO Twitter for what it was. So I don't really feel like it needs to be, welcoming for the community. But some of these guys are just so awful, and they're so disruptive that you just don't want them around. And this is one of them. Is guy he goes by Chase. He's got a different fucking account every day. I think the reason he's always switching his accounts is because he can't grow past like 100 followers. So he just like makes an account every couple days. That's why that way he has an excuse to why nobody ever follows the guy. But he sits in Tupa spaces all day. He started out attacking Tupa and Panda. Like dude, they were trying to cancel this guy. He was making threats against them, all kinds of wild shit. And what happened is he tried to kind of push into our friend group. The dude's such a prick. We don't even want him. We're not the type of guys that are cool with anyone who is an enemy of my enemy. If you're a straight asshole, I don't care that you don't like Tupa. Get the fuck out of here. You know, Lou reviews, non-cred, all these wankers that claim to have problems with the Tupa crew. We don't like any of these people because we judge you at face value. And this guy was one of these assholes that came out the gate was attacking the Tupa crew and above and beyond. I'm talking about threats of violence and shit. Uh, they were calling for him to get canceled immediately, campaigning against him, the whole crew. What happened is he started becoming just like making threats of violence in my spaces, threatening to hit people on the speaker panel and stuff. That we pushed him out. We booted it. I booted him and told him to quit coming in my spaces. And he cried and threw a tantrum. And the only group now that will accept him is the guys he was attacking out the gate, the Tuba crew. And the reason they accept him is because they do play the enemy of my enemy game. And they'll let anyone in who will publicly attack people they don't like. And this is one of them. It's the only reason anyone really lets him around is the Tuba crew lets him on speaker just because he'll say vile shit about people like me and Carlos and Darren and whoever they don't like. But the crazy thing about these guys is I think this guy holds spaces sometimes. I have zero interest in joining his fucking spaces. If he made videos, I wouldn't watch them. I like what Kaka makes videos. I've never watched a single one. I don't go in Tupa and Panda spaces. Like I get sent clips of when they're talking and playing my content. It's because I have zero interest in anything they say. They're not entertaining. So, but these guys all cram pack into my spaces, anything, my videos, they're in the comment section, which tells me I'm entertaining and they just don't want to admit it, I guess. But this is one of the haters that you'll have in the anonymous section, and basically they can't stand not being involved. And he's one of the small handful that I block. Him, Somber, because Somber lies about self-harm to try to manipulate people. Logan and Carlos, I think they're goofies. I don't want them anywhere near me. Mistress Morpho's probably in that group. Who else? It's a small handful. I think that's about it. UFO Shane isn't allowed in my spaces. That's about it. Anyone else? Tupacabra, Wakaka, or, Red Panda Koala, Kimball, his whole crew. Like, they can all come into my spaces and express their opinion if they want. But this guy's one of them that can't because I don't care about his opinion. He shouldn't even be included in the community. He's made so many threats against people of violence. He's a drunk menace every other week, like he's crying in his space, then has to go back and delete it and do damage control. He's just a complete clown, and everyone agrees. Like it's not like we're the only ones that dislike this guy. But we were in this space, my space, and I think it was Carlos or Interstellar started talking about him. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play how it went. Also, I wanted to say, just point out, this account, this hate sock that this douchebag's rolling on right now, is very similar to the attack sock that doxed me. And we weren't 100% sure with like which account doxed me because it's co-hosting with UAP Mike like regularly, and like I said, I'm not in those spaces. We just knew it was one of the butt buddies, right? So I'm starting to think it might have been Chase the doxed me. Something about these corny like tough guy PFPs with the skulls and shit, like this incel moron shit, like this tough guy, bigger, like scary. It coordinates with the sock that doxed me. When I do my edit, I'll put it side by side up, and the language, all of it. But he's on a new sock all the fucking time. Look at this one, dude. It says joined March 2023, and he's got 34 followers. He's in here harassing me on this account. How is this account this old? This points to the proof that what I've been saying, that these guys are sharing these attack socks. This one I'll put up when I do the edit. The one that doxed me in this space, they're sharing them. UAP Mike, Chase here, probably Jess causes problems, probably Fungi, UFO Shane. They're sharing these accounts because look, this one's old. It's been out for years, but it's got 34 followers because they only use it for slander and doxing and stuff. But yeah, he jumped up into my space. Here he is. Let's go ahead and play it. We'll go ahead and listen, and I'll react to this pathetic human being on Twitter. Here we go.
Yeah, it's quantity over quality for sure in any situation. I mean, you just look at the spaces and who they got up on speaker panel now. They had one going, I don't know, they were trying to slander Elizondo again. They had someone in there
That's
spreading lies. I
beautiful.
think it was it might have been what Al or not, is her name Al?
So I'm gonna go and set stage. This is what my spaces usually are. It's just a small group. Like there were maybe 8 of us in there talking, 6 to 8. Me, Carlos, Darren. I think Gabe was up. Um, um, To came up and talked. Red Panda Koala joined for a while. He joined around the same time. But then I have 30 something people in my anonymous section. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and show you here. This is why I put this up. Here's a typical space for me. Look, everyone in here is a friend. Red Panda Koala creeps in because he's clipping things for his spaces. Now look at the anonymous. That's the anonymous section. The 28 other listeners. That is proof of me being blacklisted by this community. If all those people were just up in the listeners like a normal space, my spaces would be packed full. Like I would be having some of the more popular spaces on UFO Twitter. But Red Panda Koala here and this guy I'm about to play Chase, they have successfully intimidated people into not showing any kind of support to a point where these people are even afraid to be seen in my spaces on anything that's not anonymous. They're all on anonymous, and that's kind of what I'm talking about is the different types of people that are in this group of 28 here. And I'm going to demonstrate very clearly how they force people into that anonymous section. I've got, proof of it here in this. But let's go ahead and get back to this clip. It's just me and a group of friends speaking our minds, talking about ufology, video games, whatever. Things come up. If someone has a problem with someone, we talk about it. But it's just like any other space. There's nothing nefarious going on.
The female astronauts, what former wife of the astronaut. I don't know. They had a space going, and they had,
Allie Clark.
yeah, it was Allie Clark, and they had like Chase and UAP Mike up on the speaker, and it's just like, dude, you trust Chase up around these guests? Are you crazy?
The reason I'm saying that is because Tupa and Red Panda Koala led like a full-on campaign against this guy just a few months ago to try to get him out of the community. That he's dangerous. He makes threats, and he was hanging out with me, and that's a no-no. Because I was buddies with this guy when he first came in the community. He just was so toxic, you can't have him around. All right, here we go.
You might as well let UFO Shane in too. Like, come on in, Shane. Bring your misogyny and homophobia. Scare anyone with a brain out of my space.
Yeah, you're rolling the dice anytime Chase comes into a space, man.
Especially around girls. Scaring the fuck out of people. His energy is just intense, man. You can like feel it through the phone. His anger. And when he's all like trying to like convince you that his house is huge so he wins.
That's one of the tactics this guy uses. He'll be like, "Bro, if you saw me, man, sitting in my like pajamas in my giant house right now, you would so not be saying what you're saying." He uses this goofy tactic where I don't know what, I don't even understand it honestly. Like my house is bigger than yours, so I'm right in this argument. I don't fucking know. He just uses this like real materialistic douchebag logic when he fights with people.
It freaks me out, bro.
It's
You saw
absolutely.
how awesome.
So
So
here comes
yesterday I went
Carlos.
to
This is Carlos. And this is Carlos just giving his honest opinion of like his experience with Chase.
to Space Anon because I was bored, and I need to stop doing that because it was one of the Tupa adjacent spaces, and I went in just as Chase. And by the way, and somebody will probably tell him this. I don't give a two fucks.
They won't have to tell him, bro. He's already in the anonymous section.
I'm really
On a sock that he went and, got hold of just so he could creep into my spaces.
ashamed that I ever, considered him a friend or anything. Dude is fucking wild. So I went in there and I don't know what happened. I don't know what was going on, but Kent Reynolds was also there. And, Kent Reynolds is not, the saint of my devotion by any means, but, he has sometimes pretty interesting things to say. And for the most part, he's not a bad dude, right? He doesn't cause problems or anything like that wherever he goes.
Neutral. Yeah, he's a neutral.
Yeah,
When I say he's a neutral, what I mean is they try to stay out of this feud between one side and the other side, the Tupa crew and then my friends. And Kent's been around for several years, and he's managed to do so. He's managed to avoid the drama, and that's respectful. Like he might say some shit that I don't agree with, or I might have. I think it's lame that he still goes in and hangs out with those guys when they're so awful to him. But he's a decent guy. He's the type of guy UFO Twitter was created for. These guys and gals that are just into science fiction and space and aliens and all that nerd shit. Chase scares those people away.
you know what he said to Kent Reynolds? He said something like
I
the
don't know.
reason why Kent Reynolds chose to settle in Thailand was because he was too ugly to get a woman anywhere else.
Yeah, makes sense.
How
Sounds like something you
how
would say.
cruel, how cruel can you fucking be
Right.
to, to say that?
Coming from the guy that has gone above and beyond to make sure nobody gets a glimpse of what he actually looks like.
This prick Chase, his only real tactic that he uses is to like attack people's looks or any like if you've shared any personal details about your life, he'll attack that. He's super quick to attack your personal life and your looks and things like that, but he's from day one he's hid behind a like these corny tough guy PFPs like the hooded skulls and shit. Like he's the phoniest fucking asshole you'll ever meet. Obviously, he's probably weird as fucking obese looking. Like because if you're not the what I've learned, the people that go out of their way to attack others' looks and then hide their physical appearance, it's because they're insecure. The people that are willing to put their image out there and just be like, this is who I am, it's because they're comfortable with who they are. Like, I know I got busted teeth and shit. I know I'm fucking not like the best looking dude in the world. It is what it is. That's who I am. Like, these guys hiding behind these PFPs and cartoon characters. They're always weird looking. Like it's just a fact. All right, here Chase is about to make his appearance.
You know what I mean? Like he must be a fucking model. Most guys that use cartoons for their PFPs are really good looking. Fucking clown. He said about
I think everyone got quiet because I use a cartoon for my PFP, but I'm on videos everywhere. Like,
a bunch of shit about me too. Like it's all personal attacks about like the way you look. But these guys hide behind like AI PFPs their whole life and talk shit about everyone else.
we've seen pictures of Kent Reynolds, I think too. Like there were photos of him at Contact in the Desert. He's a good-looking older dude. Like,
Well,
just
it's because
like
Chase can't argue anything on intellect. Like the guy is pretty much the guy's ignorant. all he does is, he's either, he comes in and he attacks people personally, talking about, oh, you're not a good father, all of this kind of stuff. Like, the guy can't argue anything fucking intellectually. The guy knows nothing about the fucking topic. Like, it's fucking, it's
Hey,
fucking
look,
crazy.
Panda's up here. What's up, Panda? You want to come up and talk?
Yeah, see, Panda joined this space. And that's another person that's hiding in the anon section. Is a guy like Panda. They're schemers, is what they are. Like fucking uh Joker talks about in The Dark Knight. Schemers are the worst. And what they do is they sit down there and listen. And if their momentum starts to build and good points are getting made, they come up in there to either disrupt the space or try to, derail it, push it into the direction they want. He'll come in and start picking at one of my guests, like Rotary or Sawan or one of my closer friends. Anything to disrupt the flow of the space. And that's the other group that is down in anonymous is these schemers. And Chase, jumping up immediately once his name was mentioned. The fact that you guys are a-logging every bit of content I put out is so bizarre to me because I have no clue what y'all are up to. Like, I'm not in these spaces. If people don't want me in their space and they're gonna block me, I give up on it and I don't go in. Uh, I didn't have any clue what this stuff that was going on with JJS and stuff. Like, I honestly, I think I'm over a lot of it.
Look,
Crazy.
Panda's up here. What's up, Panda? You want to come up and talk? Is that what this requested button means? I did want to ask you, Panda, if you quit fucking stealing my content, little dickbag.
Oh, you guys are all sitting around talking about me. I feel so special.
Hey,
I'm
Chase,
a
Yeah,
tell us
I
how
knew it was
often
moron.
this
your
fucking
I'm a
dumbass. Get
moron.
this fucking asshole out of
tell us
here.
how
Why?
often
Why
your
you can't?
car
Why you
is,
can't handle the
bro.
heat?
Go fuck
You
yourself,
can't handle the
Chase.
heat, Carlos. Can't handle the heat.
Hey,
You
Chase,
need to
tell us
run.
how
Your
tell
heat?
us
Are
how
you
often your
fucking
Kick
car
me
is.
out of the
stupid?
space. Why? So why get me out of here then? What's the point?
I don't want to be with you, man. I don't want to be anywhere near you. You're a fucking horrible human being. You're fucking trash, man. You're fucking cruel.
I got rid of him.
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
got rid of him, dude. That's all. I got rid of him. All right.
Uh, So we had this space. Panda came in and talked for a little bit, and yeah, everything worked out. Until we got near the end of it, and I'll get to that. But there's another person that I want to talk about down in the anon section. Um, these are bigger names and podcasters. These are people like possibly Jeremy Corbell. They're people like Stephen Cambion. And they're keeping an eye on what's going on UFO Twitter. They want to know if Red Panda Koala and these clowns are about to get exposed for the monologue scam. They just don't want to be seen as being knee deep in it. These names can go up high. Like these names could go all the way up to possibly Lou Elizondo and Congress people, because they are keeping an eye on it. And a lot of them have either vouched or been on the bad end from these characters, the Red Panda Koalas, the Tupacabras, and their hate group. So I do believe they are monitoring the situation. And that's a group in the anon section that I do think has a good enough reason to be down in there. They don't want to be seen in the mud, in the filth that is UFO Twitter, and I don't blame them. Like, I don't really blame them at all. But they are watching, and I do talk to some of them. Some of them do reach out to me. Some of them tell me when they agree with the things I'm saying. Some of them tell me I'm close, but I'm off. They are watching, and that's another group that we need to keep an eye on and be wary of. That not everyone in those anon sections are nefarious and look poised to jump up and try to derail the space if it starts to get momentum. uh and then there's the last group the last group in the anonymous section. And this happened this all took place last night and into the morning. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and first pull up this tweet right here from Chase on his hate sock because he's got to be on new hate socks every other day and can't say things from his main. Says, ever notice how there is never any ladies hanging out with you pickled incels? Well, first off, Chase, none of them people that are hanging out in those Tuba Crew spaces are ladies. None of them. Heather Birdie, Hey Ocean, Jess causes problems, Justice. These are garbage bag UFO Twitter groupies. None of these are ladies. So let's get that out of the way first. Um, and then I'm gonna go ahead and explain why you don't see a lot of ladies hanging out in the space. And it's actually pretty simple, and it's by design. It's by Red Panda Koala and his minions design. So, in my space yesterday, I recorded it. It's still up on my account at Felony Talk. When I do the edit, I'll put it up. Uh, Near the end of the space, a girl that I have been cool with since I joined the community joined the space, was down on listener. She joins a lot of my spaces. She just pops in to listen. She's what I would call a neutral, a member of the UFO Twitter community who just likes to keep an eye on what's going on. I've DM'd with her a little bit when, nothing serious. I don't know if I'd consider us friends. We just were acquaintances on UFO Twitter, and we've never had any issue with each other. So she comes into my spaces from time to time. She popped in and listened to the end of our space. And it was me and, Gabe and a few of us. We were talking about video games. It seems like we're nerds, so most of my Twitter spaces end up on video games. Well, she popped in and sat down there until I closed the space. And if you look at, I'm not going to give the name of the person because that they'll target her. Like I'm assuming they'll target her because that's what they do. Um she said right here at 9:25, which was about 10-15 minutes after I ended my space. Like it was shortly after I ended mine. Kinda sad I'm blocked out of a space I genuinely liked listening to. What the heck? This is the girl that had just left my space. And what my theory is that she went over and joined that MH370 space the Tupa crew was putting on, and Chase and Red Panda Koala had just been A-logging my shit in my space, so they saw her in there, and I think they booted her out. I think that's what I think happened. I think they recognized her and said that person made the ultimate error on UFO Twitter of being seen in a TJ felony space, and they blocked her from the community, their little group, and they kind of control UFO Twitter, the gatekeepers. So they apparently looks like they booted her out. That's what it looks like to me. I asked Panda last night. I DM'd him and I said, "Hey, did you just boot this girl out of space?" Like, and I said, if that's what really just happened here, that's some of the lamest shit I've ever seen. This girl doesn't and isn't involved in anything. Like, doesn't even probably know like who's on what side. She just joined a space, dude. And yeah, they booted her and probably blocked her so she couldn't rejoin. And this is why you don't see girls in my Twitter spaces, Chase, because you guys bully them and intimidate them, and all the girls are down in the anonymous section. They're all down here in the 30 listener section right here. The other listeners. That's where they're at because you guys have made this community so fucking toxic, treating it like it's high school lunchroom, that people are afraid to be seen in up on the in the listener panel. And she didn't understand that rule, I think. I DM'd her and I was like, "Look, I'm really sorry if this is what happened. Most likely you were booted because you were in my space. That's why you have 30 people on Anonymous. So those people down in Anonymous that don't want to get treated like this, that's the last type of person that I want to talk about being in the Anonymous section. I don't really blame them, to be honest. Cause what these guys will do, Chase and Panda and UAP Mike and Tupa, is they'll put them on blast in in a space. This girl will go stumbling into UFO Twitter space. She doesn't talk. She's very rarely speaking in spaces. She's the kind of person that UFO Twitter is designed for. She's genuinely interested in the conversations. And what next thing she knows, they'll be calling her out. Hey, what are you doing? And blah, 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 blah. And the rest of the community sees that. And they say, I don't want that to fucking happen to me. So then they stop joining your spaces on listener. And that's why your anonymous account, your anonymous section, you know, inflates like that. It's suppression of freedom of speech. It's blacklisting. It's cancel culture. It's all the things that, MAGA was supposed to be against, but these guys are doing it here clearly on UFO Twitter. And yeah, that's the anonymous section. I mean, that's what it is. Um yeah, I don't this that last category, I get frustrated with them sometimes because it's social media, it's the internet. If you can't be true to your voice here, why the fuck be here? Like that's all we got on social media is our words and our opinion. Like it's mental chess. So if you are going to let somebody tell you where to be seen and who to retweet and who to like and who to follow, honestly, at some point maybe social media just isn't the place for you. But it's a slippery slope because, everyone's been bullied. And if you'll notice, the kind of people that frequent these guys' spaces, the ladies that, Chase wanted to say, they're the type of people that want to turn UFO Twitter back into high school. They want they want it to function because they're the mean girls. They're the bullies. They're the ones that are picking on the goth kids. Like they're the bullies. I don't know if a lot of these people struggled in high school, so this is kind of their second round through, or if they were actually the asshole. Like someone like Chase was probably a complete asshole in high school. I mean, come on, let's be real. And it's just kind of their second round through. But the thing I want to end on is the type of ladies that are that don't participate with that are like your LPs, your Rays, your Doves, your Vennies that have opted out and been pushed out of the community because they don't want to go through high school again. They probably didn't like it the first time and they don't want to go through it again, and you push those people out with this type of shit. That's how they've successfully blacklisted and suppressed my growth here on social media, is because people either leave or they're afraid to support me publicly. And they do it in the shadows. Either way, it doesn't benefit me much, right? But yeah, we're getting there. I think we're starting to turn a corner. I've been running polls. I'll put a couple up when I do my edit, and I think people are really starting to see it. I just want to let everyone know I got this monologue deep dive I'm working on. It's gonna be coming up. Hopefully, I'll have it finished this weekend. The reason it's dragging out a little bit is I'm trying to get voice clips from some of the bigger names involved. I got one from Red Panda Koala last night. He clearly doesn't want to talk about it. He tries to discount it and say it was so long ago. You could barely get him to even admit that he was a judge through the first round. So, yeah, I'm going to clip all that up. Stay tuned. We're trying to get in touch with this Stephen Austin guy if he even exists, and I think that might be the key. So, there's going to be a lot of heat coming my way. Just be prepared for that. I'm getting people in my DMs telling me they're having spaces calling, telling me I'm like a pedo now or something because of the shit they were saying about Dandy. I don't know. I don't even pay attention to it. I don't really give a fuck. What that tells me is that I'm actually having an effect and I'm getting to these guys. So honestly, when they start using those real dirty, grimy ass tactics, it's sort of music to my ears. But all right, y'all. Thanks for watching. If anyone wants to support financially, buymeacoffee.com/TJFelony. Any support's greatly appreciated right now. I need some new equipment. So I've also got a new method. You'll see it when I switch over to the gaming. Kofi.com/TJ, or it's Kofi dash. There's a dash. You'll see it. Um, but you can donate as little as $1 on that one. So that one's actually kind of cool too. And I guess it's easier. It takes more methods. But thanks for watching, and I appreciate you all. I will see you next time. Stay tuned to watch GTA, and I'll get this edited up on YouTube later tonight. Peace out.